So what you need to make your cone wrap is you need your cellophane and paper, which is rolled together. You need your raffia to make a bow at the end. You need your string. You need your wires. You need your gift card. Of course your scissors. You always need your scissors. So that's your sundries. And then flowers. You need 3 of your roses, rosa, 3 chrysanthemums, 3 dianthus, 4 germini or gerbera. I only have 2, but you've all got 4. 2 Pittosporum tenuifolium.
Oh.
And some Gaultheria. And also some eucalyptus. And some eucalyptus. To start with, we first of all need to wire our gerberas. So you've got some wires in your pack, and to do that, you put the wire into the neck of the flower so it pops out the top. Oh yeah, and then once you can see it, push it back down again so it's flush, so you can't see it, and then gently twist the wire around the stem all the way. So we'll show you again. I know you know how to do this, but just reminding you. So your wire goes into the neck of your flower until it pops out the top, and then push it back down so it's flush, you can't see it, and then twist. So you've got 4, I've only got 2. So your string you need to cut in half because we need to use it twice. So cut that in half and put that to the side. And then you need to unroll your paper and cellophane. So you've got a bit more cellophane than what you need really. So you can trim it down, which I think is probably a good idea. I'm going to trim mine so it's level with my paper. Ooh. Make it. And then just throw that away, you don't need that. So what you want is your paper, which has been squared, in the middle of your cellophane. So you should have a border of cellophane all the way around the outside. And then the bottom corner, so the corner closest to you, you want to fold up so you get a flat bit, and give that a little crease. And then you can turn that round so the flat bit is flush with the table. If you wanted to at this stage, you could put a bit of tape on, which is just going to stop it moving around. So then what you have is a point away from you, and then a flat bit here. I don't know what shape that is. It's a little bit of a triangle. So now we're just going to start placing our flowers on now. So I'm going to start with a nice tall piece of eucalyptus. So some of you might have, it's all different shapes. Some of them are quite bendy and some of them are short and squatty, but you should all have one tall nice piece. So you want your tallest, straightest piece of eucalyptus, and that goes straight on the top. So you've got your point of your eucalyptus flush with the point of the cellophane and the paper. So it's like that. And then you also need a little bit of stem coming away from the paper, so below the paper line. So the paper's here, and then you've got the stem there. So then we're going to bring in a nice tall flower. So our tallest ones are our dianthus. So that's going to sit straight on top of the eucalyptus. We're then going to start fanning this out. So I'm going to bring in The foliage is a bit short, so ideally maybe you'd bring in some foliage if you had some more, but I'm going to start bringing in a chrysanthemum. So this is quite high, but we are coming down in a triangle fashion. So we're not having it all the way up here level. It's not level with the dianthus, it's a little bit lower. So you're following the shape of the paper. And then because they're nice and tall, a Gemini, which is sitting opposite the chrysanthemum. So we've got dianthus central, chrysanthemum to the left, and then gerbera to the right. And it's forming this triangle shape. So now our next stage is to build up a little bit of base with some greenery. So I'm going to bring in some of the Pittosporum tenuifolium, and that can sit straight on top. A bit of the Salal. Now the Salal is not amazing. This is Gaultheria, or Salal's common name. So this needs to be really tucked down low. If you have this up high, it's not going to be in any water. So it needs to be brought down really low, so the stems are the same level as the others. And a bit the other side. So you've got a fan at the base there of Gaultheria. So what that's doing is it's just going to give the design a bit of lift. Without it, it would all sit very flat. So now we want to be bringing in a rose. So these roses need a little bit of a pick over. Some of the storm petals are a bit damaged, so just take those off. You could maybe save them and put them in your bath later. So the roses are very short, so do make sure that it's still within your binding point. So it does need to come quite a bit lower down. The rest of the flowers need to come down in a zigzag fashion, what we call the Hogarth curve. So the next chrysanthemum is going to be opposite your first one that you put in. So you can bring that around the back. You can see I'm lifting up the bouquet and bringing that one in so it tucks around the back. So this is now lower than the gerbera, and it's lower than this one, but it's also to the opposite side. And then we're going to do the same with the gerbera over this side. So that's one there and that one's there. So we need to bring in a bit more of the dianthus. So that needs to be up high here as well. So we could have, in fact, really put the dianthus in first and the gerbera on top. That's a better idea. And then we need another dianthus lower and down here. So you can see we've got the line going through with the dianthus there, which is the Hogarth line. I'm going to bring in some more of this Pittosporum straight on top. And then here now is where the chrysanth goes. Quite central, but lifted quite high. So it's level with the carnations, the dianthus. So what you have there is, that's your line. So if we had more, we'd have another one here and another one here. So you've seen this line within your front-facing oasis arrangements. The roses, we've just got 2 left. So I'm just going to bring those in either side. Trying to keep them as high as possible because I don't want to cut any length off them because they're short anyway. And then we've got a bit of eucalyptus, which we'll just finish off with. So I'll cut the middle out of that and bring that in low, and then that one the other side. So you just use what you can with the eucalyptus that you have there. So then before I tie it, I'm just going to give everything a little adjust to make sure I'm happy with where everything is. So obviously you've got more gerberas, so I've got one there, you're going to be bringing in another one around here. The fourth one you can either use or not use, it's up to you, but you really only need 3. I bought 3 for you and there just happened to be more left over, so that's where you want your third gerbera to be. The fourth one maybe could go higher, could go there if you wanted to, but this is fine. There's a bit of salal, might as well use because it's there. So then get your string that you've got pre-prepared and tie your flowers together. So wrap the string over, give it a pull, and then bring it to the top and tie that in a double knot. And then to be tidy, to trim the ends. We need to tidy up our stems is next step. So we go cut, 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 carefully not off your fingers. So keeping as much length as you can, but so that they're all the same sort of length. Okay, so now we've done our bouquet. We're happy with our placement. We can see our Hogarth lines going through, and we're happy. You know, we can see that everything can be seen clearly. All our little flowers are pointing upwards, and we're happy. So now we need to wrap. So you've got your paper and cellophane ready. So now we just need to bring this round, maybe give it a little pinch at the back, but join these together, and you can use a little bit of sellotape here. I find that sometimes a bit easier. So just hold that in place. So now you can either, you have choices, fold these together like this, or you can, before you get to that stage, really fold the papers back so it's really open. So like that. I think I'm going to give this a little fold up so it's a little bit more protected. So those two meet, a little bit of tape there, and then fold these down. So the reasons why I think that's better is so that the flowers are still protected a bit, but we can still see them. So then you've just got a little bit of tape just bending that back there. So then we need to do the same this side. So a bit of tape on the cellophane, bend that round, and then this paper's going to pop up and be naughty. So bend that round as well. So then that's the cone wrap done. But we need to use our little bit of string that we saved from earlier to tie the paper and cellophane onto the bouquet. So you use this on the same binding point as what you tied your flowers together. So hold that binding point with your fingers quite tightly and wrap your string round above, giving it a little pull to make sure it's nice and tight. And pull that tight then. That's how you keep on the same binding point. And then tie that in a double knot and chop the ends off. So now our last job is to make a bow. So you've got your raffia that I gave you. So you can unravel this. You've got a little bow there tying it all together. So unravel this and get yourself a good few strands as even as you can, and then save a bit for tying a knot with. So this I'm going to save, so just leave that on your bench. So then to make the bow, have your raffia and hold it in the middle. From that middle, bring one hand down and then your other hand so that they're even. So you've got a loop at the top. So I then cross my left hand over my right and twist my right hand behind. So you've then got that big loop there and a cross at the front. From this top loop, bring that down to meet this point, like so. And then you need to change the position of your hand. So grab that and then you can pinch it. Leave these tails nice and long if you've got the length, that's good. And then get the bit of raffia that you had spare. Now this goes over the top. And then you need to pull both of the ends back. So then you've got this. So this is tying your bow together. And then you tie a knot. And then another knot just to make sure. These you keep long and that trails down. So that's your bow. So then using these two tails that we tied the bow, secured the bow together with, we then wrap those over your binding point. Cross them at the back. So that's crossed over like that. And bring those back round to the front so we can tie a nice discreet knot that should be hidden underneath your bow. You can just tie the knot at the back if you want to. So then you tie that in a knot and then double knot it. So the reason for this is to hide as many mechanics as possible. And then these bits of raffia, we can chop level so they're not as straggly because that's all messy. And throw that away, you don't need that anymore. And that's your cone wrap with your bow. Your last job is to attach your gift card, which you need to write your message on. And that would probably be attached somewhere lovely at the front there, where the lovely person who's receiving the flowers can see their beautiful message. And that's okay.